Okay, who's your number one breakout player this season?
Probably Bryce Sports Prod. I mean, he subscribed and he goes to every single one of our live streams. On the field, he was a top 10, like 10th best quarterback.
I disagree. I think as soon as he hit the playoffs, he looked like a bottom 10 quarterback.
Okay.
That counts.
Okay, you love Justin Herbert.
The 2-minute warning.
First up, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Who is going to be their breakout player in 2025?
I mean, everybody's picking the same player, so I kind of want to be a little bit different. I'm going to go with Max Melton. I really liked him as a prospect last year. He went in the second round. They really need him or Elijah Jones to step up. I mean, out of camp, it seems like Will Johnson's going to be a lockdown corner just from everything I'm seeing. But they need another corner, especially with Sean Murphy-Bunting going down for the whole season. One of those two guys is going to have to step up, and I think Max Melton's a much better player, so I could really see it being him. And obviously, I think you went with the more obvious choice.
Yeah, I did. But talking about the corner situation, I think that's a good pick because assuming Will Johnson is the prospect we all hoped he would be coming out of college, obviously there's still question marks with the reason he fell and stuff. But like you said, in training camp, he's looked great so far. And I think most people agreed that he was a phenomenal prospect coming out of the draft, outside of the injury concern. But they do need that second corner. But assuming he is that player, I mean, there's a good chance that it can be easier for a guy like Max Melton to step into that role. And not have as much pressure to be the number one corner, because obviously they have Garrett Williams, who's really good, but he plays in the slot, so it can be difficult to try to develop as a young player and be pushed into that number one role immediately. And so if Will Johnson can take that over, I think it's a good situation for Max Melton to be in. But I did go with the obvious one. I went with Marvin Harrison Jr. I really, really like Marvin Harrison Jr. I think most people do. I've seen a lot of people obviously predicting this, but a lot of people also counting him out just because he didn't have the same rookie season that these other guys did. But he had almost 900 yards, 8 touchdowns with some of the worst QB chemistry for his first season. I mean, this guy is clearly talented. He can clearly take over a game. He showcased his ability early on. He's super young. He's got tons of potential, and I think this season he takes a big step forward to proving he's going to be a top 10 receiver in this league one day for sure.
Yeah, definitely. As a prospect, he's like one of the best receivers who's came out recently.
Yeah, ever.
Top 3 recent as of late. Like Jamar Chase was a really good prospect.
Well, he was a better prospect than Jamar Chase, at least in most people's eyes.
I mean, I guess. But like the clips out of camp, he still doesn't have that chemistry, it looks like to me. I'm worried about that, but he had games where he just took over them, so you kind of see the potential. You see what he could be. So it's a pretty easy projection. It's just a matter of if they can get that chemistry down and he can actually put together a productive season with that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the biggest concern, obviously. It's just can he get a relationship with Kyler Murray going? Because literally the first game we saw the frustration between the two of not being able to connect and just not being on the same page, and that's super important, super not talked about enough. I feel like just the quarterback and wide receiver have to be on the same page or it's not going to work out. The best duos in the history of the league are because these guys have crazy chemistry. They know where they're going to be at all times. They know what the other's thinking. And Kyler and Marvin are just kind of the opposite of that right now, so they really got to figure that out. I don't want to buy too much into training camp. I know I've seen clips of Will Johnson locking down Marvin Harrison or whatnot, but I don't want to buy too much into that. He must suck because he's getting locked down in training camp for a couple plays. We don't know what's actually going on, and I'm excited to see him in preseason and then once the games actually begin, because we're getting close, man, and I'm super pumped for football season. But moving on to Atlanta. This was a really easy one for me, but who you got?
Yeah, I know who you're going with, your favorite player of all time, basically. So I went with a different option. I went with Ruka Rororo. That's a second-round pick last year. I think they traded up a bunch, if I can remember correctly, to get up to him. And he just had 9 tackles last year. He was injured a lot. He didn't get a play. And they really need someone on that defensive line to step up when they lost Grady Jarrett. They released him. So they're going to need another guy to be an interior presence and to help those rookie edge rushers out who are going to have to step in with Arnold Ebiketie to be those are their 3 best edge rushers right now. So they're going to need him to step up or someone to step up in the interior. And he's easily the best prospect out of all the ones that they have because they drafted, I think, 3 interior guys last year. Braylon Trice moved to the inside. Can't remember it was the Oregon guy. I can't remember his name. He's also there, but I think Arroyo is definitely the best prospect there, and he's a crazy athlete, so I could really see him breaking out this year.
Yeah, they have a really young D-line. They just need someone to do something on the D-line this season. Pass rush was absolutely terrible last season. They lost Grady Jarrett in the offseason, and somehow that was their best D-lineman by a lot. for the last couple of seasons, and he's getting very old. So I don't know. I think I obviously drafted 2 edge rushers in this draft, but I think they're just looking to develop the whole line at once. They don't really have any veterans or anything. And it's just about which one of these guys is going to break out first, because you gotta hope one of them can do something.
Definitely.
My personal money is on James Pierce being the best. I love James Pierce as a player, but I do think that it could be any one of them. So I don't think it's a bad take, because just like they need someone there to do something. I ended up going with Penix, obviously, though.
Obviously.
I think Michael Penix is absolutely phenomenal. So underrated coming out of a draft. I had him as my QB1, which is just crazy. If we had the podcast at the time, we probably would have just gotten flamed for that.
You had Gabriel's QB1 this year.
Yeah, and
so
people were not
that's
happy
even
about
worse.
But Penix is just absolutely phenomenal. In the 3 games that he played last season, when he got thrown into it, he played really, really well. He came off the field in every single game with the lead. And his team did end up selling 2 of those games, but he showed the ability to be clutch and put points on the board and do everything that you need to right away, which is just not something you see from a rookie quarterback very often. Even with like the best rookie quarterbacks, we saw 2 great ones this year in Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, and both of them, they didn't start their first game and immediately were that incredible.
Jaden
Daniels got blown out by like 30 to the Bucs. He scored like 13 points against that defense, and Bo Nix obviously looked awful against the Seahawks. So it's just not a thing that happens, and obviously he didn't start week 1 or anything, but he looked like he definitely could have. Something that I liked about him is that he looked the most pro-ready to me. I think a lot of people would have agreed with that. I mean, besides Caleb, because everyone's obsessed with him, but it's just, to me, like, he just has everything that you want in a quarterback. And he just has so much potential there. I think genuinely, I believe that he can be a top 10 quarterback this season by the end of the year. And I don't think that's that crazy or anywhere. I think it's literally like I might predict it. Like, genuinely, it's like that confident. Like, I really think he's that good. I think he's not talked about enough. Obviously, we haven't seen enough of him, but genuinely think he is just a phenomenal quarterback. He's going to be a great quarterback for years to come if he can stay healthy.
So do you think he's a top 2 quarterback in this class still?
I think he can be.
Do you think he will be?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He'll be 2 or 3.
The Bo Nix disrespect is crazy.
He'll be 1, 2, or 3. That's what he's going to be. And I don't see him being lower than that. I think he's going to be better than Caleb for sure. I think Caleb's going to be 5th, which is going to make people really mad. I think it's going to be Bo, May, and Penix as the top 3, then Daniels.
Daniels at 4 is crazy.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to take a step back this season. I think everyone else is going to take a step forward. But unless you have anything else to say about the Falcons.
I mean, like Michael Penix, obviously, those first 3 games were the best first 3 games we saw out of any of these rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just look at the stats, you'd say Daniels was better. I mean, he had like an insane completion percentage through his first 3 games. People were like thinking he was like the best prospect of all time, basically.
They still do.
Okay, well, that's because maybe he is.
No, he's definitely not.
But Penix, he throws probably the prettiest ball in the class.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Anything over the middle of the field, outside the numbers, all that stuff just comes out so cleanly.
His outside of the numbers is just incredible to watch.
Yeah, definitely pull up his film. You'll be impressed. But
it's not even just impressed, but it's just like mesmerizing in a way. Like, he has the cleanest spiral I've ever seen. Like, it is just so nice.
The glaze is crazy.
Well, it's true. But moving on to the Ravens, I am interested to see you have here. I thought this was a little bit of a tough
difficult one.
Just because they have they're so stacked at every position that it's not like they're waiting for anyone to break out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I went with Tez Walker.
Interesting.
I don't think he's going to be a star. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think he will have a role this year, like a very important role. He has to be out of DeAndre Hopkins, who's really washed. And I think he can stretch to the field. He's a very fast player. It's like 6'3", so it's a very important role, especially they don't have a guy like that. They got Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman as their solidified receivers, and neither of those guys are that skill set. They're both like kind of like underneath guys. Like Bateman is a really good route runner, and Zay Flowers is also a good route runner. They don't have a guy that's like 6'3" and fast. So I think that'd be a great role for Tez Walker. He had like 1 catch last year. So, I mean, it's a bit risky, but, everybody on their team's so good, it's hard to find a breakout player.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's how I felt. It's really hard because everyone's so good. But I want the guy who already is pretty good, but I think can take a step into the top 10 this season. which I don't think most people agree with. But I really love Nate Wiggins.
Top 10?
I think Nate Wiggins can be a top 10
He's
corner
their cornerback 3.
I mean, he's not.
He is. He is cornerback 3.
He's cornerback 2 when Jair's playing in the slot because that's where they're going to put him. But
Jair is playing in the slot and is corner 2 on the team.
That's not how it works. I mean, I'd rather have a guy that can play more than 4 games. But Nate Wiggins...
I didn't say, I'd rather have Jair. I'd rather have Jair for 1 game if he's going to play the whole game.
I mean, yeah, Nate Wiggins was a rookie last season. I hope so.
So I just think top 10 is crazy.
Nate Wiggins, I think, has so much potential. He showcased a ton in his first year, and he's in the perfect situation for him. I mean, you can't really ask for a better situation than this. This secondary is loaded, man. He is not going to have to be tested too much, I think. I think it's going to become somewhat similar to what Quinyon was last year, where he gets a lot more hype this season because of the team around him, if that makes sense. I think Quinyon gets a little bit too much hype. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. I think he gets a little bit too much hype just because he wasn't challenged as much as some of the other guys, and people just want to bring up his stats, which with corners, it's kind of hard to do that. But Nate Wiggins is a similar situation to me where he's like the prototypical corner, what you want. He's 6'2", extremely fast, he's a little bit lighter than you'd want, but
just a bit.
But I'm not too worried about that. He plays super, super well, and just he showcased so much in his rookie season that I think this is a guy that he takes another step this season, learning under all of these amazing players in the secondary, having them improving their pass rush this offseason. They have an amazing front seven. If Mike Green works out, I think they have a really good front seven, and I really like Mike Green. So I think this is a perfect situation for him just to thrive and keep improving. And I think this is a guy who can jump into the top 10 in a lot of people's list, and I think on mine as well by the end of the season. And I don't think I would have picked him in a lot of situations, but like you said, this was just really tough, and I really do think he has the potential to get there.
He almost feels to me like the Devontae Smith of corners. I don't see him being a number 1.
Yeah,
but I see he's one of the best 2s. That's what I see as his he's going to be.
That's what he was last year.
He was not one of the best 2s.
He definitely was
one of the best.
Do you think?
I'm not.
How good do you think 2s
maybe
are?
He was top 10 of 2s.
He was probably top 5.
He was not top 5. That's what I'm saying.
How good do you think 2s are?
There's a lot of good cornerback 2s.
Like who?
Well, I'd have to look at a list.
Yeah, because there's not very many.
Well, DJ Reed was a corner 2 last year.
Okay, so he was probably number 1. You got it.
I just don't want to do it right now.
Riley Moss?
Riley Moss was not up there. I don't know why you're glazing him.
You just don't understand that cornerback 2s are hard to come by. He is a top 32 corner in the league already.
You think so?
Easily.
I don't know. I just don't feel like I'd feel too great if I'm a contender of having him as my corner 1, if that makes sense.
Well, obviously not yet.
Not right now, but I think ever.
I think he will be very easily. I think after this season we could be saying him and Marlon Humphrey are the best corner duo in the league, behind Surtain and Barron, of course. But I do think Nate Wiggins has so much potential.
You were telling me yesterday you don't value a duo where there's only one good player.
I don't. But to say Jahdae Barron's going to be bad is crazy.
I think there's a good chance that he gets attacked in year 1 and just doesn't have as good of a statistical season as people think, and people don't really care about him.
That's fine. I mean, the other corners are going to be attacked no matter what. And so he doesn't have to be good in year 1. But moving on to the Bills, you're going to hate mine for this one, but let's get to it. Who you got for the Bills?
I got Cole Bishop.
I went with a different one.
They have DeMar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp over him.
Yep.
If he can't get a job, he sucks. So I think he'll be playing at least by week 4.
Yeah.
And he's super athletic. He showed a lot at college. I was surprised when he fell so far in the draft. Obviously, he has not proven that he was worth a second-round pick, but he has all the tools, and he played well. When he actually got on the field, he looked pretty okay. So I think he could easily break out and be a really good safety for the Bills.
Yeah, I felt like he was the obvious one, but I wanted to go a different way. This is someone I predicted to be a breakout player last season. But
Josh Palmer.
It didn't end up being right.
No.
But I ended up going with Josh Palmer because
oh my God.
Out of the receivers, I'm looking at the receiver room, and it feels like somebody's got to do something in this receiver room. And you know what? I think I trust Josh Palmer the most because obviously you got Khalil Shakir. He's going to get his 900 yards. But he's not a number 1 receiver. He's not what Josh Allen wants from his number 1 receiver. And I feel like whenever Josh Palmer gets opportunities, I'm very impressed with his play.
So is Josh Palmer number 1 receiver?
No, obviously not right now.
On the Bills?
No,
this year.
Shakir is the best receiver on the Bills.
So you think he's going to break out above Shakir?
Maybe yardage-wise.
Okay.
He'd only have to get 900, 950 yards. I think he could get there. I think Josh Palmer has so much potential. He's a big body. He's athletic. He's He's good at a lot of things, but I felt like on the Chargers he didn't get a ton of opportunities whenever I watched the Chargers. I feel like, obviously you went to Ladd a lot for a good reason, and they love to run the football. They love to run the football, and I just don't think him and Herbert ever really clicked. But I think that Allen looking for a big body receiver, everyone wants to go to Keon Coleman. And don't get me wrong, I think you hate Keon Coleman way too much. Like I think there is a tiny chance that he breaks out in some way, but I think that what's more likely to me is that he starts going to Josh Palmer. As a safety blanket, as this big body he can target, across the middle, down the field. He's very good at getting a lot of yards per reception. But I think that he can also be good if they actually ran him routes closer to the football, closer to the line of scrimmage, those types of things. I just don't think he's gotten the opportunities that he needs to thrive, and he's still super young. I think he's got a ton of potential.
Calling him athletic is crazy.
I mean, he definitely is.
I would not call him athletic.
You go race him.
What?
Go race him. Let's see what happens.
That'd be fun, actually. I mean,
you get beat by double.
Well, that's not true though.
100 meter, you're at the 50 meter mark.
That's not true.
It is.
We should actually get Josh Palmer and bet on it.
All right,
I'd 100% put everything on that.
Okay, bet. Josh Palmer, if you're watching this, come out. We're gonna race with you.
Okay, but I think there's a higher chance Keon Coleman beats Shakir in yards than Josh Palmer.
I really hate Josh Palmer.
He's mid. He's just a worse.
You think Keon
he's
Coleman's
a worse
ass?
Romeo Dobbs.
They don't play anything.
They play pretty similar. They're both just possession.
You've never watched Joshua Palmer.
Yes, I have.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have. Bro, you're acting like he's a deep threat.
He is sometimes.
Okay, Romeo
he's
Dobbs.
Like a 20-25 yard threat instead of like a deep threat.
Okay, and Romeo Dobbs is a 20-25.
No, he's more of like a route running safety blanket.
Sure, buddy. I mean, he can run routes too because he has more levels to his game than running 20 to 25 yards.
Well, I'm saying that I wish they gave Palmer different routes.
I think Palmer is an awful pick.
There's
so many better picks you could have had.
No, he's going to be good.
Bro, Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid is so bad. I wanted to pick their backup tight end behind Knox just so that I could say Kincaid's going to get pushed out.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, obviously not. Moving on, though, I think we all know who you're going to pick. Let's go to the Panthers.
Oh, well, do we know who I'm going to pick?
I don't know. Let's see.
I picked Chow Smith-Wade.
Whoa. Not Bryce Young.
Well, like, we kind of defined loosely what a breakout is. Mm-hmm. And when there's a player who I think can take a leap forward, I'm not going to pick a player who I think will take a step forward, even if he's already a way better player. Like, Bryce Young's obviously way better than Chow Smith-Wade.
I don't know.
And him taking a step forward is more important to the Panthers, obviously, than Chow Smith-Wade.
Where do you think Bryce Young will end
forward
by the end of the year, like on the quarterback ranking list?
13.
Okay, so you think he's going to go from like 25 to 13, and that's
I don't think he's 25 right now.
Okay, you don't think that's a big enough leap? That's
what did I have him at 18?
I mean, you have him too high. And so
like, I just think Chow Smith-Wade right now is a guy who no one knows. You probably don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
He's starting in the slot for them this year.
I saw Leggett was their starting slot on the depth chart, which I thought was so funny.
Their starting slot corner. This is embarrassing.
Why? You said slot. Why would I assume it's corner?
Because you're supposed to know who he is. Anyway.
No, nobody knows who this is.
He was a rookie last year, and he was starting the second half of the year, and he played pretty well. And I feel like the slot is a really easy position to play. All the time we get these players who, like, obviously people don't necessarily know them, but there's so many underrated slots in the league right now. Like, almost every slot is underrated.
And there's not very many superstars because I don't think it's an easy position to play.
Okay, he doesn't need to be a superstar. He's unknown right now, and if he goes as a starter and is a fine starter, that's a way bigger step.
Acting like a quarterback position is easy to play is just wrong.
I think slot's an easy corner position to play. I mean, you got safeties that do it.
I mean, it's obviously easier than corner, like outside corner.
I think it's easier
it's
than...
It's not easy, though.
It's easier than corner. It's easier than edge. It's easier than...
no way.
I don't honestly say linebacker. I feel like linebacker... People act like linebacker's super easy to play.
I think edge is one of the easiest positions on the field.
Well, you have to be, like, incredibly athletic. I mean, I guess you don't have to be as smart.
Yeah, just about
athleticism. If that's what you mean.
Corner is way harder to play than edges.
Like, safety's requires more brain power.
Well, safety's very easy to play. Safety might be
from
the
experience,
position.
I feel like it's pretty easy to play.
I put Jatavion Sanders.
That's a good one, actually. I agree with that.
I like Jatavion Sanders a lot. I have him in my Dynasty League, so I'm hoping he breaks out. But I think he just needs a better quarterback, to be honest. A better situation for him. But He obviously dealt with a lot of stuff last year. Obviously, they ran the ball a lot, especially when Bryce Young came back. And I just didn't feel like he was getting all the opportunities. But when he does, it feels like he does really well. He's super, super young. Like, he's got a ton of potential. Obviously, this is a guy that, is not there yet, but I think he's going to take a step this year, even if it's not an exponential one. And if it's not, I think he'll take another step the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about him, definitely. He's a great route runner. He's, obviously not, an insane athlete or anything, but he seems to always be open, catches the ball. He's not, a super exciting tight end, but they don't need one. And he's going to be starting the whole year with Bryce Young, who's going to take a step. So, naturally, he's going to have – you agree with it. So, naturally, he's going to take a step forward. I think that's a lot safer than Chow Smith-Wade. Maybe I should have picked that. But I like to get some difficult ones,
Yeah, well, I was just saving that for later. For my difficult ones come later in the list. So,
okay.
Next up, we have the Bears. Who you got? I guess we have the same one finally.
It's a tough one.
Is this our first same one?
You don't even know. This one was so hard that I just went with the basic answer.
Yeah, me too.
Rome Odunze.
Yes, me too. We got one the same.
Not the basic answer, I guess, because the basic answer is Caleb Williams. It's going to be hard for Rome Odunze to take a step forward if Caleb doesn't, obviously. Mm-hmm. But he's he can go up and get it, and he's also a great route runner, so he kind of does everything. And if Caleb sucks and he just wants to chuck deep balls to Rome Odunze, that really could benefit Rome Odunze. Mm-hmm. And I think by the end of the season, if there is somewhat competent quarterback play, I think there's a very good chance he is their number one receiver above DJ Moore by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree completely. I really, really like Rome Odunze. Watching him last season just made me so frustrated because I just feel like Caleb really held him back from being a good rookie, and he didn't get talked about very much just with how good the rookie class was. We talked about this a few times, but really, really like Rome Odunze. I do think it's going to be hard for him to break out, like you said, especially in the public eye. But I think he's going to take a step forward in skill level, nonetheless. No matter how small the gap is between his rookie and second season stats.
His rookie stats were really bad.
So, I do think he'll take a step forward. But even if he didn't take a giant one, I still think I would consider it a breakout because I think he's going to get better. The offense is really loaded. I don't love the quarterback play, so it's going to be hard to get everyone involved in the stats that you'd want from those players to consider breakouts, if that makes sense. With all the mouths you have to feed, with the person feeding them not very good, if that makes any sense. So I'm not confident in the statistical. I don't think he's going to get 1,000 yards. But
yeah, I don't either. Maybe 800.
But I think he could get 800.
But he had 500 last year, so that's a big step.
That'd be a breakout, yeah. So I just really like Rome Odunze. I wanted to throw him on because I didn't really have anyone else, but also I just really like Rome Odunze. So
yeah. Also, you said their offense was really loaded. I'm starting to think it might not be. Because we don't like Caleb, we hate DeAndre Swift. So you don't have a passing game or run game, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about the weapons on offense. Yeah. The weapons are loaded.
You got loaded. You got two tight ends who are really good. Well, pretty good. You got great offensive line.
You've got
very good receiver. Yeah, he loves Cole Kmet.
No. Moving on though, it might have been the hardest one for me. It was so difficult. The Bengals.
It was a bit difficult, but someone on the defense has to take a step forward. So I really hope you pick someone on defense because you probably want to think of Marius Mims or something, which is actually a good answer because he sucked last year. But I went DJ Turner.
I really strongly considered him.
Someone on the defense has to step up, and I'm not too confident in Dax Hill to take a step forward. He's fine at best, and he's been fine for his whole career, his whole 3-year career. Mm-hmm. And then their linebackers Logan Wilson, am I really going to predict him to break out? He's just been fine also for his whole career. Yeah. And they got BJ Hill, TJ Slayton. Those guys aren't breaking out. So you're basically either picking Miles Murphy or DJ Turner. I wonder if you pick someone else on defense.
So my thought process was very similar in the sense of someone on defense has to do something. That was my first thought. So I started going through the depth chart, what I was doing, and to figure out if I thought a pass rusher might break out, I started going through all their win rates, their run block and pass win rates. Wanted to figure there's got to be someone, right? Somehow they're in the front seven. The best breakout candidate was Slayton, just because his run block win rate was so good. If he could improve his pass rush game at all, I don't think he'll ever be
right,
and that's why I didn't pick him.
Yeah,
and then I was considering DJ Turner, and I was like, you know what? I started thinking about it, and I was like, this defense is so bad But I think it's going to be really hard for one of these players to break out. Because how is someone going to look good when everyone else around them is so bad that they're going to bring them down with them? So I just went with Amarius Mims because...
Of course. Basic pick.
Well, maybe, but I think he has the best chance out of all these players to break out.
I mean, I definitely don't think he has a bad chance.
Because he's huge, obviously. If someone's going to break out, I think it's him. Because I just do not like what this defense is at. If Trey Hendrickson leaves, their whole defense is so bad that I just don't think anyone can break out, like genuinely. And I think that now I'm just blanking. DJ Turner is the only player that like I even considered, really like seriously considered, and that's sad. Like that's not good. And the fact that he'd have to break out on this defense when he hasn't been very good so far doesn't give me a lot of confidence that he's going to do so. So I just want the guy that second-year player. It is a basic answer, but tackles need a little bit of time. He's ginormous. He has the tools that you need, but we just have to wait and see if he can put it together this season. I think this team just didn't really have anyone I'm confident is going to put it together.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Turner has shown flashes. Definitely a raw player coming out of college, but super athletic, so I can kind of expect him to have a bit slower start and maybe even break out this year. Obviously, you said it might be hard for us to notice, but I don't know. I feel like if you're the only good player on your defense, you are noticed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but
he'd have to be like really good.
The problem is at corner, he's going to get targeted extra because of how bad the pass rush is. He's going to have
like a 4-2-4, so he could make some really flashy plays that gets him on the radar.
That is true, but I'm worried about specific reason I backed away from him, not just all defenders, but him specifically, was because I'm worried about the front seven so much. But it makes, when you have that bad of a front seven, do you know how hard it is to play corner? Like you can't do it. Like
yeah, but the other corners could get exposed.
Yeah, I think they're all going to get exposed.
Well, maybe they just don't throw his way.
I just don't see that happening.
Well, like you could also see a world where he gets like 3 passes thrown right at him, and then he just takes them to the house, and then people just know who he is immediately.
But to actually break out, like he'd have to become like a lockdown corner in one season, and I just don't see that happening.
Okay.
Moving on though, this is a player that I only started looking into because of you. So let's see if we have the same one.
Isaiah McGuire.
He is my pick.
Yeah, I think it's a really good candidate, and not a lot of people are talking about him because he was drafted in like the 5th or 6th round or something like that.
It's a situation that makes it so good.
He's playing next to Myles Garrett, so he's going to get a lot of one-on-one reps. You know, he had a really good. I don't know what his win rate was, but it was insane. It was 18+% or something. I don't know.
His pass rush, it wasn't that high.
You sure?
Yeah, it wasn't that high. But his run, that's what I was going to bring up.
His
run stop win rate is 7th in the league out of all edges.
Yeah,
which is really impressive. Like,
yeah. And he's a good athlete, and he just barely started playing really last year. So
his pass rush win rate left some to be desired, but it wasn't bad for playing like half the snaps that Garrett did. Obviously, he's not going to play as much as Garrett, but like he's stepping into a full starter role now. It looks like. And playing aside from the other side of Garrett, like you said, it's just a really good situation, which led me to him from the start. But then just seeing like he's already a good run stopper, and then he can improve his pass rush game. You know, he's super young. He's learning from Myles Garrett, and like you said, it's just like he's gonna get a lot of one-on-one reps. So if he can just it's just a great situation for him to take a step forward and be that guy that improves his game a little bit, and then he can be a really good pass rusher aside from him.
And they also just drafted Mason Graham.
In the interior.
And they have someone else who's established, and they have, what's his name? Michael Hall, who was drafted in the 2nd round. Hopefully he breaks out as well. And if he breaks out, they have 3 good interior players. They got Myles Garrett and then McGuire. So everyone on that defensive line is probably going to look pretty good this year.
Yeah, I can't believe you said the Titans' defense is in the same tier as the Browns. It's actually insane.
Okay.
It's actually crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy.
I mean, I think their defense is going to be good this year.
It's going to be fine.
But yeah, I mean, it was.
They don't have a linebacker.
That's okay.
Like I don't know who it is. Jordan Hicks retired.
They I forgot who it was. I was looking at. Jerome Baker's starting for them.
Yikes!
That could be worse.
Not really.
It
could be the Titans. Could be the Titans.
What?
I guess he could be the Titans.
They lost Jerome Baker.
Yeah, they got. Oh wait, no, they have Barton. Barton's their number 1 linebacker, and they have Cedric Gray.
Forgot. I also considered Cedric Tillman for a second, just because I know you really like him. But he had 300 yards.
He was hurt a lot last year.
He was
and
not
last
good.
year was the chance for him to break out, really, and he just didn't. Yeah. I liked him as a prospect, but at this time, I'm just kind of giving up.
He's going to get the opportunities, but I don't know.
Like, what? He might have 500 yards. Like, I don't want to predict him to go up 200 yards as a breakout.
Yeah. Well, moving on to the Cowboys, I think this is going to be your most shocked one. I don't think you know, or I think you're just going to be shocked.
Yeah, this one was one of the hardest ones for me.
Yes, it took me forever.
I was like,
I had to do a lot of research.
Jalen Tolbert, if George Pickens wasn't on their team.
I consider George Pickens, like, that's how bad it was.
It's not that bad, but I like Jalen Tolbert. He's kind of underrated, but I ended up going with Marshawn Kneeland.
Oh.
Their second-round pick last year. He barely played. He's now set to be their third edge rusher, so he'll get more playing time. And he's got good power. I don't know. He's not that good I didn't love him as a prospect, but when you're picked in the second round, you're supposed to do things, and that's basically where I'm at with the Cowboys. They don't have any breakout candidates.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was very difficult. I started looking at the entire front seven for a while just because, Parsons is leaving. I
doubt it.
Well, maybe. And if he does, I think someone's going to get a lot of opportunities, right? They have Dante Fowler Jr. now, who I think is so underrated, by the way.
He was really good on the Commanders last year.
Yeah, very good. And if he was younger, I would have done him, honestly. But I think he kind of already did break out.
He's 32.
He's 31.
Okay.
But if he was younger, that's why I said if he was younger. But, I think he kind of already did break out. But he was just really good last season. And I just wanted to bring that up because I was looking at all the win rates and I realized how elite he was last season. I didn't realize he was that good. I was like, man, this guy does not get talked about enough. So,
but I thought the Commanders had an amazing offseason.
Yeah, they didn't. They sucked.
You liked
especially
it too.
if Terry McLaurin leaves, and that's dog. But I ended up going with Cooper Beebe.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's the obvious pick.
Is it? I didn't.
That's what everybody's going with.
I did not know that. I didn't really find any lists of people, but he was good last season when he played. He played plenty, but he was very good in the snaps that he got, and he's super young, so I just don't see why he couldn't continue to get better. He was, I forget, I think I have it on. He was 12th in interior out of all guards and centers in win rate. He had a 95% win rate, which is only 1% lower than Creed Humphrey, which is just crazy to think about. Obviously, center is the easiest position on the offensive line, but he showcased he can be a good one right away. He's super young, so I was with a team with no candidates, might as well go with the guy that I think can continue to improve and be, a top-tier center.
I guess I didn't look at the offensive line on this one. But he didn't play. He played every position besides center in college, and he played center his first year in the NFL, and he looks pretty good doing it. So, very, very good breakout candidate there.
Yeah. Well, now we're moving on to my most excited one. Let's go with the Denver Broncos. Who you got?
I want everybody to think about who their breakout candidate is for the Broncos because they just don't have any.
It's because we're too stacked.
I mean, I went with Marvin Mims.
Good pick.
That's pretty embarrassing if that's your pick. He was pretty good at the end of last year, I guess.
What do you mean pretty good? He was amazing.
But this coaching staff doesn't seem to like him.
What is with that, by the way?
the news out of camp is not about him. It's about Troy Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of I guess I'm really not making an argument for my pick. But anyway.
So why don't you predict Troy Franklin?
Because I think I liked Marvin Mims.
Mims.
I don't know. I can't remember his name. I liked him coming out of college a little bit. And I did not like Troy Franklin. I thought 4th or 5th round is where he went. I thought that's where he should go. And everybody's like, "Oh, insane pick by the Broncos, bring him up with Bo Nix." And then he goes out and does nothing. So, hopefully he didn't pick him because it'd be kind of embarrassing because Marvin Mims is their number 2 receiver. He's also a punt returner. Maybe
he's not number 2 receiver. He plays a slot.
He can still be your number 2. The number 1 receiver on the Lions is not Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams because Amon-Ra plays a slot.
I mean, technically on the depth chart he is. So, I'm just saying Mims does not get the number 2 receiver looks or role or anything. He gets way less looks and that. So I put 3 on here because I'm guessing you're going to talk about a few Packers.
3? I only put 1 Packer because
we can talk about a couple. But first up, I want to say someone that probably most of you, if not any of you, except for maybe you, will know who he is.
I know who everybody on your roster is.
But I love Lavelle Bailey. Absolutely love Lavelle Bailey. He is my number 1 breakout player for the Broncos this season. We have 2 very injury-prone linebackers, and right now out of camp, it immediately looks like Lavelle Bailey is going to be the 3rd linebacker on this roster. Last season, Lavelle really showed out in training camp and then really cooked in the preseason. I really liked watching him in the preseason. That's when I got on the Lavelle Bailey train. However, for some reason, we kept him on the practice squad the whole season. Then in the next training camp, like what's going on right now, immediately, right out of the gate, Lavelle Bailey looks amazing. Every single report is talking about how good Lavelle Bailey has looked early in training camp. And how he has just Sean Payton came out and talked about how smart he is or something and how it's changed the way he plays because he understands the game so much better now or something. I don't know how true that is, but I'm very excited for Lavelle Bailey because I think he has so much potential at middle linebacker, which is a position that I would love for him to take over for Singleton. That'd be really nice. And both of them are injury prone between him and Greenlaw, so I think he's going to get some snaps this season and really showcase what he can do. But I also put Mims just because I think if Mims did get playing time, he could be a phenomenal receiver for us. He showcased what he can do in those last 4 games, 7 touchdowns or whatever in the last 4 games, a ton of yards. He's a phenomenal deep threat for us. He plays the deep threat role more than the slot role, even though he plays a slot, so it's kind of confusing. But he's definitely really good at it. And my last one is Troy Franklin because
oh my gosh,
I love Troy Franklin coming out of college. I really, really liked his college tape. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I thought it was really good. But he obviously struggled in his rookie season. He did show flashes, though. You know, he had a game where he literally had a 100% separation rate. That's insane. He, got a lot of playing time, and that's not really saying much because our receivers were so bad. But he did show those flashes. In the Bills game, he had that nice touchdown, the only touchdown that we scored. He does have the chemistry with Bo Nix. He's going to. I mean, if he can work on his hands a little bit, and just keep improving. Words out of training camp is he's just been absolutely cooking in training camp. His release just looks so clean. Everything about him is just so much more improved. And he just keeps improving every single day. So I'm really excited to watch Troy Franklin because a lot of people are saying he can be our wide receiver too by the end of the season, competing with Pat Bryant and Devon Bailey. So I'm excited for all 3 of these guys because I think all 3 of them could break out. But I do think we're in a position where we don't really have a ton of breakout candidates.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anything else to say about the Broncos?
Lavelle Bailey wasn't picked up on off your practice squad for a reason.
That's not true.
I didn't really watch him in preseason.
You have no idea if he's good.
I know Broncos fans are obsessed with him. Isn't he like
no way
5'11"?
Nobody talks about him.
He's really short, right?
Oh, is he? I didn't know
feel
he was
like
5'11". But no, Broncos fans are not upset with him. Most of them don't know who he is.
Well, I mean, my brother was glazing him last year.
Your brother's so hit or miss.
But we gotta get Singleton back to his old form.
No, that's okay.
He had like 130 tackles.
That's okay.
2 years ago.
We'll give up the under 30 tackles for the 40 missed tackles he had.
That doesn't matter. At least he's there every play. Okay.
That's not helpful.
He's helpful.
No, missing the tackle is not helpful. Moving on to the Detroit Lions. What do you got?
This one was so Mahogany. Do you go with Christian?
That's what I went with.
Okay, well, it's their only one.
Yeah, there's no one to choose.
The Lions are really good at developing linemen, and Mahogany was a second-roundish prospect, goes in like the 5th or 6th or something like that, so I still think he's a good prospect, even though, obviously, later-round pick. He played I think he started 3 or 4 games last year, and he was good in all of those. This year, he now has to be their guard because they lost. Who did they lose? I don't remember, but basically their whole interior is revamped, and he's basically their best player in their interior now, so he's got to break out.
Frank Ragnow.
He's not playing guard, but okay.
That's who they lost.
Yeah, but they lost their guard as well. Oh, they lost Zeitler, Kevin Zeitler.
Well, they moved Glasgow to center.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about center.
So that's why there's a guard opening, was because Ragnow retired.
Yeah, but there's the other guard that took that guard spot.
Yeah, he's probably going to be worse. He was not good when he played.
Who?
Or no, he's like a 5th round rookie, right?
Who?
The other guy?
No, the other guy's a 2nd round rookie.
Oh, whatever. Same difference.
I liked him coming out. I think he's actually pretty good.
I picked the same guy because I think that it was their only one. I could not find anyone else that even kind of fit the bill. And I was just like, you know what? He's on the Lions. He's in a great situation. He's in a good system. Even if he's not that good, he'll probably look pretty good. So
I mean, people don't seem to think Frank Ragnow retiring, Kevin Zeitler leaving. People still think their line is like amazing. So clearly people just don't care.
Well, I think it still is going to be a good line because
it's going to be a good
they're
line.
just in a good spot.
But it's probably not going to be top 5.
No, it won't.
It'll be like a bit outside. But
yeah, I don't think it'll be top 5. There's a lot of good lines right now.
Probably the only other guy I was thinking about was like Terrion Arnold, and I was like, I just don't like him.
I didn't go.
I know a lot. I think that's what everybody was going to go with.
I thought some people might go with Amik Robertson. People love him after the Jefferson game.
Dude, he's like 29, and he hasn't been good in his career. He played on the Raiders a lot.
A lot? I didn't think he got that much playing time.
I mean, their corners have never been good.
Anyway, it's time for you to talk about a few prospects or a few candidates. Who do you got for the Packers?
I got Carl Brooks. He's really good.
That's a joke. Like, your team is just dog if that's the person you're choosing.
Well,
you making fun of Marvin Mims for being our breakout candidate? You picked Carl Brooks?
You told me I wasn't allowed to pick Edgerrin Cooper.
No, I didn't. I said you think he's top 10, and so then that wouldn't be considered a
but
breakout.
if he's going from the 7th best linebacker to the 2nd best linebacker, that's a big jump.
Okay, well, do you think that's what's going to happen?
I think that's very, very much in the realm of possibilities.
Well, I mean, it's not possible because he didn't start 7th best linebacker, but...
Okay, whatever. Carl Brooks can do everything from the inside. He had a bit of a step back last year from his rookie year, but he's going to take a bigger step forwards, and we need him to take a step forward really badly.
Brooks is crazy.
I also have Lucas Van Ness. I have started to buy into the Lucas Van Ness. And do you know he's actually going to break out? Because I've hated Lucas Van Ness until this year. I think this is the year. I hated him coming out of college. I thought he'd be terrible in his rookie year. His second year, I thought he'd be bad. This year, I think he could be good. So I'm finally buying in.
The bias is crazy. Marvin Mims, that's how you know you have no breakout candidates. I went with Carl Brooks and Lucas Van Ness.
I mean, we
bro,
look at
Marvin Mims is exponentially better. Come on.
I'm not going for how good they are. I'm going for how good I think they will be. Or
Okay,
the step
Marvin
I
Mims
think
will be better by a lot.
Not
that's
than Lucas
funny.
Van Ness.
Thanks for the good laugh.
He was cooking with Jordan Morgan at family night. Jordan Morgan.
That's not good.
Jordan Morgan's got to play guard. He cannot.
That should tell you something about Jordan Morgan.
But he looked really good, so that's exciting. Also,
He looked
Carrington
good against
Valentine.
Steelers.
Just kidding. I don't think Carrington Valentine's gonna break out. I think he's already just a fine corner, and he's not gonna be much better. But I think Nate Hobbs could be a star corner.
What is this glaze, dude?
Nate Hobbs has looked amazing in camp.
Yeah, guarding who?
He's been guarding.
Dontavian Wicks.
If you can look good guarding Dontavian Wicks in practice, that's a really good sign.
No, your stats will always look good.
Yeah, your
Because I
stats
just
will look
dropped
good,
the
but
ball.
if you look good, he's one of the better route runners in the league.
No, you overrate it.
But he just can't catch. So if you look good guarding him, that's the thing. Like also Dontavian Wicks, while we're on the topic,
Oh
he
my
could break out
gosh.
as well.
Bro, the glaze is insane. At least I
Dontavian
didn't go
Wicks-
through every single player that's just been bad the last 6 years. Well, Alex Singleton could probably break out.
Actually, that'd be more like a bounce back because he had like a Pro Bowl season a few seasons ago, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
he
Well,
did not have a Pro Bowl caliber season.
according to Broncos fans.
Yeah, well, don't listen to them.
Yeah, but Dontavian Wicks every other year knows how to catch. And this year he's supposed to know how to catch. And he just had a great separating year. So if you combine the two, it's a really good player.
Okay, sounds good.
Who'd you put?
I put Edgerrin Cooper.
Yeah, don't put Edgerrin Cooper if you
I did
already
not
think he's
say-
top 10.
I don't think he's already top 10, and I think he's going to be probably maybe even top 5 this season. So
So here's what you're saying. I'm stupid, but I think he could be good.
no, I have him higher than anyone in the world outside of you.
You had him outside the top 10.
Yeah, no one has him inside the top 10.
I think I saw PFF did, which
they
makes me a little concerned. I think he's like 8th.
That makes me concerned.
But he was really, really good.
Yeah, when he played, he was amazing.
Unbelievable.
He didn't start the whole year, so you can't say he's a top 10 guy yet. But very, very good player, and I think he's got so much potential. Obviously, I've been predicting him to be good with you. A top 30 list, I had him really, really high.
higher
Top
than
30 in
me?
2030, so higher than you. So I think he's going to take a big step this year. So obviously, he's my breakout player. I also think he's your only breakout player.
Okay, bro. Bro, saying like Carl Brooks doesn't exist.
This was another weird one for me. What about the Texans?
This one was one of the other hard ones.
Yeah, I thought it was hard, but I went with a guy that I think makes sense.
I don't feel good about mine.
Well, it's like this guy's more of a guy I think is going to take a step. I don't know if you can really call it a breakout, but I didn't really find anyone else I
we don't have
liked.
the same guy. I got Christian Harris.
Wow,
he
you
looks-
hate Christian
No,
Harris.
I don't. He looked really good 2 years ago, and then he got
Yeah.
hurt last year, and now he's coming back.
I was the one saying he's pretty good, and
So
you were
if he-
hating me. I remember this.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, of course you don't.
But if he just goes back to his previous form and takes like a tiny step forward from that, people will think he's like, oh, he broke out because he didn't play at all last year. So I don't know. It was either like him or like Henry To'o.
I looked at that Henry
I was
Toto
like-
as well.
I don't think he's that good. So
I went with Kamari Lassiter though because I just think
bro
that
loves number 2 corners who are rookies.
I really like Kamari Lassiter. I think the corner class last year was really good. Like really, really good. I thought they had a ton of good corners last season. Just not talked about enough because like the receiver class was obviously incredible, but I think the second best position might have been corner in the class. Just so good. And Kamari Lassiter was one of those guys. I mean, he was probably the best tackling corner in the class. Like just run support and all that.
Cooper
He just
DeJean.
played so well. Him or DeJean, one of the two. He played really, really well in that role. He plays, He plays outside, right? Not slot. I always, for some reason, think that and then realize he doesn't. I don't know why I always do that.
Petrie's playing slot this year.
Yeah, supposedly, but I think Jalen Smith's going to get that role. So
I don't know. You just like him for no reason.
I like Jalen Smith, but
That's what I said.
But Kamari Lassiter, I just think he was really good. He showed a lot of signs in his first year. He's in an amazing defense, amazing situation. Why not predict him to keep getting better?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he'll get to a level where I would call it a breakout, if that makes sense.
That's fair. I just don't really have anyone that I think is going to break out. I just picked the guy that at least thinks going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I was so bad. I was looking at, I was like, what's his name? The tight end. I bet you looked at him too. Brevin Jordan.
No way.
I was looking at
Brevin Jordan.
I was like, I remember he had a really good playoff game. What was he up to last year? His really good playoff game was 1 catch. So I was like,
oh dear.
It was 80 yards. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So I just assumed he had a great game, but I mean, he didn't. So.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like this. Like that's what I did when there was a team that I just felt like I don't really have anyone I'm confident is going to break out. I'm going to go choose a guy who can at least take a step.
And they
even
lost,
if it's not big enough to be considered a breakout.
They lost Diggs and Tank Dell to injury, so you'd expect me to pick us to think about receivers, but their number 2 and 3 receivers are both rookies, so we literally can't pick them.
You don't like Xavier Hutchinson?
He's never gonna. He's so bad.
He's so bad. Moving on though, what about the Colts?
I picked Tanner Bortolini.
Interesting.
He was a 4th or 5th round pick last year. He's a super athletic center. Played really good at the end of the year, and now they're kind of trying to overhaul that line. They what's his name guy? What's that? Their center. Do you remember his name?
Is it Ryan Kelly?
Yeah, Ryan Kelly. He got hurt, and then Bortolini stepped right up and looked better, and then they just let Kelly go, and now he's starting. And the Colts' offensive line coaching is phenomenal. I at least think. Obviously, I don't know, but they always have guys stepping up. Like every time someone gets hurt, they just get a new starter, basically.
Sorry, where's Ryan Kelly right now? Do you know?
I think he retired.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Maybe. Or no, he went to the Vikings, right?
Oh, yes, he did.
He went with Will Fries. Mm-hmm. They lost both of them, and they replaced them with 2 players from the class. I just feel like they always have young linemen stepping up.
They always have good linemen. So.
And then they just barely got, a few years ago, they got Bernard Ryman, who's now getting paid like crazy.
You love Bernard Ryman.
Yeah, he's so underrated. So they just always seem to have good linemen. So I think it's a very, very good chance that Bortolini takes a huge step forward.
I just settled on this one. I didn't really have anyone. I wasn't confident in anyone. I didn't know whatever you just said. I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you. So,
oh my gosh.
Oh, I don't. But I ended up going with Latu just because I just feel like it's probably the highest chance, to be honest. Just I really liked him coming out of college. I kind of liked Latu. He didn't have like a super great rookie season or anything, kind of underwhelming, but he showed some signs, and I think he could keep improving. And he's a young edge rusher, so you just got to give it time. And I think he could take that step this year.
I mean, like the past pass rushers the Colts have been taking haven't been working out. And he was a guy who, he had the most refined pass rush plan, the most refined pass rush moves. He was a guy you expected to step in and get like 7 sacks or like look really good, like look ready. And he just didn't. So he's kind of a difficult player for me to believe in. Like I feel like Bortolini I feel pretty confident in just because of the history the Colts have with linemen.
Yeah, well, that's fair to say. The Jags is up next, though. Who you got?
I mean,
I thought this one was supposed to be pretty easy for me.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I must be missing something.
Okay,
I went with Tank Bigsby.
That's who I went with. I felt like it was easy.
Okay, well, it's not hard to win this backfield.
You don't think Bashal Tootin's going to do it?
Madden thinks so. You see what his Madden rating was?
No.
75. And he got 96 speed.
That's ridiculous.
So he's the same.
He's not even that fast.
He's the same overall as Caleb Johnson.
Why is he that fast?
Because he ran a 4.28 or whatever.
That's not 96.
That is 96.
Have you seen him on the field? He's not that fast.
He ran like the same 40 as Matthew Golden. He got like a really high rating, right?
He's got like a 91 speed. Sutton's 90.
Like, what is Madden? Madden's so stupid. Like, I feel like I have to manually change Matthew Golden's rating. These would be so unrealistic. But anyway, he was really efficient last year.
Funny.
His rookie year, he was absolute garbage. One of the worst players in the NFL.
Yeah.
But last year, he was pretty good, and they don't have anyone to take away touches. I hope he gets more of the workload this year. That's the reason why he didn't have a bunch of production. He averaged like 4.6 yards per carry and had like 700 yards. So he had under 150 carries.
He's super, super efficient. And I just feel like he just needs more workload. Like you said, they got to stop handing Travis Etienne the ball.
He's so bad.
He's so
like
bad.
3 yards per carry.
And Tank Bigsby is so good. I still remember when everyone was like in love with Travis Etienne. Like they were like
he was really good 2 years ago.
I didn't like him. I thought he was
for
overrated.
fantasy. I remember.
Yeah. But I do really like Tank Bigsby a lot, so I thought it was pretty easy.
I mean, I think he's fine. Like I had him in my top 32.
I think he could move all the way up to the top half of the league back if he had that good of a season.
Okay, well, it's a lot coming from someone who didn't think he was a top 32 back.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of just forgot about him. Predicting wise, I put him there.
That's crazy.
Moving on to the Chiefs. You're going to hate this one. Who you got?
I picked Jaden Hicks.
Okay, yeah.
He played really well at the end of the last season. That's a lot of these guys, and he was a rookie last year. And now they lost, what's his name? The guy went to, Reed?
Justin Reed?
Yeah, Justin Reed. I was thinking Jalen Reed.
And their other safety's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and you hate Brian Cook.
He's so bad.
Jaden Hicks is super athletic. He was one of my favorite players from the class. I really wanted the Packers to take him, and we didn't. I mean, we ended up getting Evan Williams way later, so maybe better value. But I think Jaden Hicks could be a star. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like he's in a good situation. I did consider him, but I remember you telling me you were gonna pick him one time, like forever ago. Like I'm gonna pick their other safeties for the breakout.
I did say that. I remember that.
Yeah, so I was like, I guess I can't pick him, but he's in a great spot to succeed. I just went with a super basic answer because I think it's the right answer, Rashee Rice.
I put him on accident. You were probably thinking that was crazy.
Yeah. Because you were making fun of it. And I was like, McKay came into my house today to record, and he goes, hey, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put Rashee Rice on accident. That's so embarrassing.
No, I was like while I was doing it, I think Rashee Rice, I heard something, I maybe heard Rashee Rice or something, and I was thinking about him while I was writing down Jaden Hicks, so I just wrote Rashee Rice, and then I read it, and I was like, that is not what I meant to write.
But I do think, like,
It's
if he plays, it really depends on the suspension, but if he plays early in the season, this is a guy, I really like Rashee Rice as a prospect. I think he's so underrated, so good. He's probably top 3 in yards after the catch in the entire league. In his rookie season, I think he led the league outside of Tyreek Hill. I think he was second. In the whole league in yards after the catch. He's incredible at the short routes. He's kind of like a slant boy 2.0 type thing, but he can do so much more than that as well. And he's just so good after the catch, like I said. This is a guy I think can be a top 10 receiver one day for sure. But just about if he can get on the field, if he can stay out of trouble, if he can stay healthy. I obviously am not necessarily rooting for him because he's a Chief and I don't like the whole situation off the field. But I do think he's a phenomenal player. And I feel like if he plays this season, I think he has the best chance to break out.
Yeah, but he kind of like already showed us that he was a good player last year, and then he tears his ACL.
But it was 3
Mahomes
games,
tears his ACL.
so it still would be a breakout in my book because he had 300 yards last year.
Well, I think he was 4 games actually.
Oh, it was in the 4th game. He tore his ACL in the first quarter. So
yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty obvious candidate last year. I don't know why no one else saw it coming. Like that's
I don't know why
it was
either.
kind of embarrassing.
Yeah,
but
people are finally hopping on a train now.
Yeah, but he's coming off a torn ACL. He's now got all this legal stuff to deal with. I just feel like he's got so much going on, and last year was just such a better year for him to show the breakout, and he kind of did. So it's like, even if he goes back to that form, I'm like, well, he was already that good last year, so I don't think it's a breakout.
And I think that makes sense, but I still think it counts as a breakout because he barely played with it, and I still think that if he can find a way to get on the field, that's why I said that. Like, I think there's a real chance that his whole thing off the field and with all the injury and stuff just messes him up. But if he can find a way to get it back on the field and play, I think he's going to be a great player. And like if he goes into the top 10 or top 15, that's a pretty big breakout in my opinion. Moving on to the Raiders, who you got?
Jacorian Bennett.
Yeah, shocker.
He's a pretty good
corner
corner.
on the depth chart.
He is not going to be the 4th corner. He is their cornerback 1 right now.
I'm just telling you what ESPN said.
I'm just saying ESPN's an idiot. Like, they're idiots.
Okay, well, tell them that to them.
I mean, they probably already know it. Like, I don't think they spent very much time trying to make their depth chart. Obviously, Eric Stokes and Noah Igbenogany aren't going to be...
2.
Yeah, I know. They are not going to be playing over Jacorian Bennett, who showed a lot of flashes last season and was really their most consistent corner last year. And he's a second-year player last year. They also have like Cameron Richardson, who a lot of people are picking. I just feel like he's pretty raw and he didn't show enough for me to pick him. And then I also thought about Eric Stokes because I like Eric Stokes. I feel like he was gonna be good and then he just wasn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like he was gonna be good on the Packers and then he just did he get hurt? I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden after his rookie year he just got bad.
It's because he was never that good.
But I don't know. I feel like I had to pick a corner. Someone's got to step up.
That's what my thought process was at first, but then I realized I don't like any of the corners outside Ja'Cory Bennett, and I was like, well, McKay's going to pick him. Because I tried to go a little bit different than you.
Yeah, I mean, I did that too, especially early on when you were picking all the obvious ones.
Well, yeah, but I had to. They were the obvious ones for a reason.
Someone had to pick them.
I went with Malcolm Kuntz, though. He did have a really good season 2 years ago. I think he had 8 sacks. But he playing across from Max Crosby, he's very good at that. But I also consider, I'm blanking on his name right now. There was someone on the interior I was considering, but I can't remember his name right now.
Who is on the interior? That would be a good spot to look, just because.
Yeah, that's why I looked, but I forgot. I don't remember. He was older too, which is why I moved away from him. But
I don't even know who's on their interior.
I'm completely blanking on it. We'll have to look after this. But Malcolm Kuntz didn't play all of last year. Just was injured. So I think if he comes back and I think he could have a 10 sack season this season, and that'd be a breakout going from 0 to 10 technically, but also just like taking another step from 2 years ago, just getting back on the right track and stuff. And he's shown a lot of potential. Obviously, he's in a good situation playing across from Max Crosby, like I said, and so I think this can be a good player of the season for the Raiders.
I mean, similar to Rashee Rice, it's like he gets a good season, tears his ACL, comes back, and then if he has another good season, I don't think it's really a breakout.
I mean, if he goes up to double-digit sacks, I think it's
two more sacks.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago.
I just don't. I'd rather go with the breakout of someone who I actually think will.
Yeah, but I also just I thought this team would have more breakouts than they did.
They should.
I don't feel like
on
they
defense.
Do.
On offense, I feel like they're pretty solidified.
Yeah, I just don't feel like they have breakouts though. Moving on though to the Chargers. This was a weird one.
I had 2.
Oh really? I thought this one was pretty hard.
This one was easy.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Diane Henley and Cam Hart.
I feel like Diane Henley was already
No one knows he was good.
Yeah, but he is.
Yeah,
you think he's a top 10 linebacker?
If I rank him, I mean, for this case, I think he was 11.
So if you think he's top 10,
I think he'll be top 5 linebacker this year.
Okay,
that's a breakout.
I guess that can be a breakout.
I feel like
that's actually wild. You think he's going to be top 5?
Yeah, he's crazy. He's so good, and I liked him coming out of college. That does help. And I feel like no one talks about him, so even if he's like a top 10 linebacker this year and people actually know he's a top 10 linebacker, it's going to be a breakout and it'll look pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Cam Hart, not a lot of people talk about it, but he played a lot of last season. He's like a kind of like a prototypical size of an outside corner, which, what's the other guy's name? The Picks guy. He just doesn't, he's more risky.
Still.
Yeah. And I just like Cam Hart.
I looked at
better.
both the corners, but I decided not to go with them.
I think Cam Hart could take a step and be like a pretty good corner from.
I think they were both decent corners last year.
Like Cam Hart wasn't that good.
I don't know,
but he showed that he could be good, and that's why I picked him.
I went with a really, really lame answer.
Oh no!
I just want you to know that.
Led McConkey.
No,
I'm trying to think about.
But I think this guy could easily go into top 10, if not top, 6 or 7 at his position in Joe Alt this season.
Oh my gosh, you can't get lamer than that.
Yeah, I know.
Picked a lineman who was picked at 4.
But I also think it's the right answer. He was so good in his rookie year, and I think he's going to take another step. He could easily be, a top 4, 5, 6, 7 lineman in the next couple of seasons. So, I mean, it's super boring. I considered the corners. I looked at the corners when I decided, you know what, it's just not as good of a chance as Joe Alt is.
Normally, when you pick a player who's picked at 5 and didn't disappoint in their rookie season, I feel like that's a pretty safe pick.
Yeah, but it's also the right pick. He's probably going to be the breakout.
I do like to pick some polls, Like
yeah, but when there's that obvious of one, I can't go away from that.
Have you had like a
Lavelle Bailey?
Besides Lavelle Bailey.
Christian Monogamy? I can't even say his name. Mahogany. That's how you say it, right?
That's not a hard name to pronounce.
I feel like it is.
And we both said it, so it's not really that
Isaiah
crazy.
McGuire.
We both said that one as well.
Josh Palmer. That's a big
pull.
That
one's just dumb.
That's a big pull.
No one is predicting
so
that.
I have plenty of polls on you.
Whatever, sure.
Okay, so why are you getting mad, all right?
I mean, you just pick Joe Alt
At least
to break out.
Okay, because he's going to.
What's next?
Because you think it's obvious doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Oh, is Malik Neighbors going to break out? Is Malik Neighbors going to break out?
No, he already has.
Okay, Joe Alt might have already broken out.
No, because I think Joe Alt's going to go to a top-tier lineman
I think Malik Neighbors could be a top 3 receiver this year. Is that a breakout?
I mean, he's already like 8 as a rookie.
So Joe Alt's like of left tackles? He's top 10?
No, stop.
Oh, he's left.
Right? Like, what's going to happen when Joe Alt breaks out to a top 5 tackle and Cam Hart doesn't break out? You're going to be like, oh, well, that's stupid, but I picked the right guy, okay?
You get a half a point for that.
We're keeping points.
We should do points.
You're going to be really mad at my next one. Let's go to the Rams.
I mean, and I feel like this one was a difficult one. They have a bunch of players on defense, I hope. Oh, no, not Tutu Atwell. Not Tutu Atwell.
Just go ahead and pick.
I better not be Tutu Atwell, I swear. He's their wide receiver, 4.
Actually, he's the wide receiver 3.
5.
He's starting at wide receiver 3. He's starting at wide receiver 3.
I think Jordan Whittington's playing over him.
Just so you know, he's number 3.
Just so you know, I don't care
he's
about
playing
the
in the
depth chart
slot right now.
Okay. I mean, Puka plays a lot of slot.
Complements the other two pretty well. So, anyway, go ahead. Who'd you pick?
Okay. I picked Quentin Lake. He's an underrated player right now. He's a pretty good slot.
You're not even freaking breakout. You're just picking the most underrated player on the team.
I mean, it was either him or Omar Speights.
Do you know what a breakout is?
Yeah, I think he's going to take another step forward this year. Okay. He has a lot of room for growth that people don't talk about. He feels like a smart player, but he needs to work on that pass defense game. You know, he's a really good tackler, but I mean, I feel like he could be a star. And I don't know if Tutu Atwell is going to be a star because more people probably know who Tutu Atwell is than Quentin Lake.
Well, I did not put Tutu Atwell.
No way.
So the first thing I pulled up the depth chart. The first thing I clicked was Tutu Atwell. But I was like, he had 500 yards, 550 yards last year, and I was like, oh, he's not going to get that much more. Like, what do I think he's going to get? Like 850 or something? Like, that's not happening. So
it's not happening with Devontae and Puka.
Right, so that's why I didn't go with him. You're going to be so pissed. I went with Jared first. Okay, hear me out.
Bro, everybody who's still watching to this point better comment Spencer is an idiot.
No, okay, hear me out.
He won D-Roy.
Okay, hear me out.
He got a Depoy vote, I think, right?
No, he did not.
Okay, well.
Can you hear me out?
He had like the highest pressure rate in the NFL.
That's also not true.
He had one of the highest pressure rates.
It was like 15. I was looking at it today.
It was not 15.
It was not top 10.
No, you're talking win rate and pressure rate. One of them was really good.
One of them? How are they both not good? That makes no sense. Okay, anyway, reason I picked him is because I genuinely believe he can break out into a top 7 edge rusher this season, top 6, maybe even top 5.
He's a top 10 edge rusher.
Probably not. You got Max Crosby, Aiden Hutchinson, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt. You got help me out here. Will Anderson.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, you're wrong. Daniil Hunter. Help me out. Let's think of more really fast. Jonathan Grenard. People would say Nick Bonito.
Nope.
I don't agree. But some people would. Help me. Think of the best edge rushers. That's definitely not it.
Did you say Micah?
Micah Parsons. That's like 9.
That's 8. Actually, that's 7 if you counted Benito.
I didn't count Benito. I counted Will Anderson.
Okay, so it's 8.
Okay, wait. Who else?
Dude, like I'm telling you, he's top 10 right now.
Well, okay, I'm trying to go through all the people. You're not very helpful.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to help you, and I also know I'm right.
You don't want to help me? That's helpful.
Actually, it's not helpful.
I don't really want to go through the rest.
Because there's no more.
No, he's outside the top 10.
He is not.
Yes, he is.
He is inside the top 10, and he's going to go from
No, you don't know about Nick Benito like that.
No,
you don't know about Nick Benito like that.
6th.
Oh, Trey Hendrickson. Boom.
Okay, 9th. I already said
That's
9th.
10.
That was 9.
That was 10.
That's 9.
That was 10.
That's 9.
The consensus is 10.
Will Anderson has not broken out yet. I don't know why everybody thinks he has.
You just do not know ball. Like, you literally hate Will Anderson for no reason. Please go watch his film. Please, just go watch his film.
I watched every snap of Zach Tom versus Will Anderson. I watched the breakdown. I don't think
you
Will
watched
Anderson
the Packers
won
bias
once.
breakdown. That's cool.
I don't think Will Anderson won once.
I'm sure the breakdown had every single snap. No, it did not.
It did.
But I think I don't know. I feel like this is a team with a lot of young talent that's not necessarily going to break out. I just think a lot of young talent that's going to improve, and I think he's going to take technically the biggest leap because he's going to get that much better. So that's why I went with them. I know it's hella boring. I know it's probably not even a breakout.
Okay, so this is the worst one we're gonna say.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Oh, and maybe my Saints one's worse, but
I just don't know who else I would have said.
Anyone else?
Like
Omar
who?
Speights.
No.
Whoever plays at linebacker for them because they always play well.
No, that's boring.
And picking Jared Verse, who won D-Roy, isn't?
Okay. Moving on. Before you get too mad, you're going to love this one. Dolphins.
I have a theory. Okay.
That was very quick.
Puka Nakua, it's a cool name, right? Cool names work more often than not.
Pick Storm Duck.
I pick a Storm Duck. Okay, if you're
number one corner, like he's got to go up against the Jamar Chases of the world.
Yeah, and
you think that's gonna work?
So he has the potential to be either Eli Apple or be dominant. You know. Also, I don't think he's guarding. Jack Jones was signed. Maybe Jack Jones. They put him out there.
I forgot about
At least early on, I think Jack Jones is their number one. But Storm Duck is going to be their number one by the end of the season.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't
necessarily. Bro's in love with Storm.
I don't necessarily think he played well last season.
Also, Puka Nacua is not a cool name. It's fat and chubby.
No, but it sounds cool.
It doesn't really.
Puka Nacua, you know, it's got like a ring to it. It does. And like Jamar
My guy's
Chase,
name is cooler.
I'm trying to think of a lame name that's a good player.
No, my guy's name is cooler.
What is it?
Nick Westbrook-Akine. What?
So, the receiver that was like third in touchdowns.
You know how many yards he had last year?
674.
Had less than 500.
Oh, okay, whatever.
So, if he went up to 800 yards, that's a breakout.
If he had 800 yards and 5 touchdowns, that's not a breakout.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not a very good breakout.
That is a breakout. And
he's not going to have 800 yards.
I think he will.
He has Tua throwing him the ball. They're going to be throwing to HN every play.
I think he fits their system perfectly.
Okay, he's their number 3 wide receiver.
Yeah, kind of, but like...
No, officially.
Okay, but Tyreek Hill is clearly on the outs.
Those are both locked in, number 1.
Tyreek Hill is clearly on the outs. They don't seem to be getting the ball much. So Jalen Waddle sucks. And...
Jalen Waddle's better than Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Okay, but Nick Westbrook-Akine is going to get a lot more involved. I think he's going to get a lot of plays that just really fit him. He's going to score some, but
that sounds like a Dolphins offense. Give the ball to the slow guy.
I think that he's going to score less than last year, but I really do think he's going to get around 850 yards this season.
That's insane.
I do. This is a pass-heavy offense, even when they're throwing to HA.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they're pass-heavy, but it's negated by the fact that they're basically running glorified run plays.
Yeah, to Nick Westbrook-Akine. I'm telling you.
So you think Mike McDaniel should be fired?
I'm telling you, this guy can have 850 yards. And if you don't think that's a breakout from a guy who had less than 500 yards, that's crazy.
Sure, buddy.
That's You wouldn't consider that a breakout if he almost doubled his yards.
Fine.
That's insane.
A breakout.
I don't know how you don't think that's a breakout.
I just think like when you had that many touchdowns, it's very impressive.
Yeah, but he also that can also be a fluke. You know? He barely had any yards.
It felt like a fluke until like every week it kept happening.
Yeah, and then it stopped. And then he didn't score again.
Yeah, but that's because he wasn't hot anymore.
My point is I really like Nick Westbrook-Akine, and I think that he wasn't great last season. And I think he can be a lot better. I don't think this team's in a good spot at all. I'm sorry I didn't pick Storm and Duck. Like, you are in the wrong here. My player is way more likely to break out than yours.
I mean, your player could take a...
Like, you're sitting here just roasting me. I get not being happy about the Jared Verse. The rest of mine have been very good picks.
Jared Verse.
Okay, you're mad about one pick, bro. At least I didn't pick Storm Duck, all right? Storm Duck is so bad. And at least I didn't pick Jordan Morgan, all right? That's embarrassing.
Okay, at least I didn't pick him either. Okay, let's move on.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't pick Carl Brooks.
That's even worse.
Okay, anyway. Vikings was really difficult.
You're going to hate this one, too. This one is
Justin Jefferson.
This is a 27-year-old player. I think he's going to break out as an older player.
I have no idea who this could be, honestly. TJ Hawkinson? I don't know. Anyway, my player was Mekhi Blackman.
I knew you would pick him.
What?
You love him.
Okay, well, 2 years ago, he was really good. He was their best corner 2 years ago.
And I was like, McKay's picking this guy. I got to pick someone else.
Yeah. He was really good 2 years ago, and he tore his ACL in training camp. Didn't play all year. And now it's like, if he just takes a tiny step forward from where he was before he got hurt in his rookie season, then everyone's going to be like, wow, he took a... Who is this guy?
Okay, but the same logic for me, you get mad.
No, but like no one knew he was good. Everybody knew Rashee Rice was cooking.
Malcolm Kuntz, if he takes a step,
everyone knew Malcolm Kuntz.
If Malcolm Kuntz gets double-digit sacks, everyone's gonna be like, "Where did this guy come from? He's huge breakout." But for some reason, that logic just doesn't apply to my players.
Yeah, but Corey Bennett's a real breakout, and you're about to pick someone stupid who's
Bennett
27.
Is not that good. What?
You're about to pick someone who's 27.
Yeah, late breakout.
Who?
That can happen.
Who?
Geno Smith is basically a mansion.
Who?
I picked Isaiah Rodgers.
Okay, I don't hate that.
Really?
Well, it's more like a bounce back. 3 years ago, he had a really good year for the Colts.
Don't say really.
It was really good.
It was not really good.
It was really good. Right before he gambled, he was really good. Okay, well, it depends what you think about really good. But he was a very good number 2.
Really good.
But right now he's being he was buried on the Eagles depth chart, so he's going from being a depth player to being a starter. So I
he actually played more snaps than I thought he did last season, but he's number 2 on their depth chart now. The reason I think he's just in a really good situation for him to succeed. Obviously, Brian Flores is going to bring the best out in him, in my opinion. I think that whole scheme is really good. I think that their front seven's just getting better with the addition of Jonathan Allen. Yeah, I know you didn't get him. You're sad. It's okay.
No, I mean he's a wash.
Probably. But I think that front seven's going to be good. This is a confusing defense to play. And you know what? Byron Murphy gets picked on a lot. And I think that's going to be helpful. He's guarding the second receiver, and the guy across from him is getting picked on all the time. I think it's going to make him look even better. Isaiah Rodgers is in a position to succeed. And this is another team that I went into it thinking the Vikings aren't going to have so many breakout players. But it's more they just have a bunch of underrated players, not a bunch of breakouts, if that makes sense.
No.
Okay.
I just think their coaching is so good it props everybody up.
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to say it. So I just didn't have a ton of options, and I felt like this could be a guy that at the age of 27, 28 comes out and he's, a better 2 in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
after being a depth piece.
For being 27, that's a good option, I guess. It's a lot better than I expected when you said he was 27.
Okay, I felt like that was a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have very many options. They're
that's
receiving cores, so, who you can pick?
Jalen Naylor?
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, though, to the Patriots, I think we're finally going to have one of the same. Maybe.
Drake May.
Yeah, I got Drake May.
Yeah, I don't like picking quarterbacks very much, but Drake May is going to take a leap forward. It's kind of boring because everybody does it. I assume everybody's picking Drake May, and I didn't want to do that, but
at least we didn't pick
Drake May's my guy.
Or JJ McCarthy.
Shut up.
Whoa!
He's so athletic. He's so good at everything. He just had
holy glaze.
His line got a huge improvement this year. I think Kyle Williams, he might be the next Puka Nacua, except he's picking the 3rd round. You know what I mean? This guy that could be the best receiver in this draft, honestly. And
wow. You really I didn't know you liked him that much.
Yeah, and then he gets in a dream scenario where he could be the number 1 for Drake May. And this offense could be really good. And I think Drake May, even if Kyle Williams doesn't take that step, he's now got Stephon Diggs, who's at least a reliable receiver. They drafted they drafted Will Campbell. They drafted Jared Wilson. They signed Morgan Moses. I feel like that whole team's just going to get way better, and Drake May is going to get a lot of the praise, and he's going to be obviously a big reason for them being so much better this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's valid.
Who'd you pick?
I picked Drake May. I think Drake May is
the glaze.
No, I don't. I'm not going to say, I think he's amazing at every single thing. He's just so athletic, and no, I think he has a lot of flaws, obviously, but I think that he needs to pick those up, and I think he's in a situation to do so. He was obviously in a terrible situation last season, as we talked about before, but he needs to take a big step this season. And I expect him to. I think he's a great quarterback. I had him as from QB2 coming out. Did really, really like Drake May. I still really do like Drake May. I think it's going to be great. I don't think he's going to be as good as you think he will, but I do think he's going to be really good. So he was the obvious pick here. Moving on to probably the hardest one of the day.
You expect a team that's so garbage to have some players where I'm I liked him coming out. He went in 4th or 5th round, and now he has a chance to play. Mm-hmm. I hate everyone they've drafted recently. Except for they drafted Jonas Sanker this year, who I liked. But he's a rookie. I can't pick him.
You don't like Tyler Shuck?
Well, basically, for the past 3 years, they've basically decided they don't want to draft any of the players I like. And you can see how that affected them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, the glaze.
Yeah, so this one was really difficult. They don't have anyone. I don't like my pick at all. I picked Kendre Miller. So I'm basically what I'm predicting is Alvin Kamara takes a step back, gets injured, something happens to Alvin Kamara, and Kendre Miller takes a step forward and averages 0.2 yards more per carry and gets over 4 yards per carry. You know what I'm saying?
3.8 both seasons on 40 carries.
So if he takes a little step forward there and gets, apparently all you need is 4.1 yards per carry to be a top 5 back, according to a lot of people, with Joe Mixon, who had a great year last year, averaging 4
Kenneth
yards
Walker
per carry.
With 3.8.
Yeah, that's true. You can average 3.8.
So Kendre Miller's already there.
To take a step forward. He just needs to
He's already broken out. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he just needs to run a bit faster and
he just needs more carries. Honestly, that's the only problem.
Yeah, completely agree. So all he needs is more carries to be a top 8 running back.
Yeah, probably. I actually went somewhere else. I went Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Wait, I forgot about him. That's looking embarrassing.
I think he's the best option by
far.
By a lot.
By far. It's not even close.
But that's not really saying that much. But, I mean, not much to say about him except that he's a young corner. Corners take a while to adjust. He wasn't god-awful in his first season, so let's give him some time and see if he can develop this year.
I hated him coming out of college, but...
His name's cool.
Yeah, the name thing. But it's not even his
cooler
real
than
name.
Storm Duck.
It's not even his real name.
Is Storm Duck his real name?
Yes.
That's so sad.
I mean, I would have picked him even though I didn't like him coming out of college and he showed nothing. It's just like now he's their number one corner, so if he's okay, he'll look okay. And that's a breakout for the Saints. So,
who'd you pick for the Giants?
This one was probably the second hardest one for me.
Interesting. I just feel like there's a lot of players that could take a step.
Really?
Just maybe not big enough to call a breakout.
Yeah, like I feel like Drew Phillips and Tyler Nubin are kind of high floor prospects who are going to be good their whole career. I don't think they'll be great, so I kind of wanted to pick a guy who I think could actually step up. Pick Deontay Banks.
Interesting.
He's got a chance to be really good. He's got the prototypical build.
I don't hate that pick.
And he's very much underwhelmed. So even if he's just like pretty solid, like that's a breakout kind of. And like last year he was terrible. In his rookie year he had a lot of flashes of good play. So he could just go back to his rookie form, take a little bit of a step. I don't know. They didn't have any options.
I said the whole secondary, but more specifically, Tyler Nubin. And the reason being, you kind of went over the fact that you don't think that it's going to be big enough for a breakout. I think that's a fair argument. However, I don't think people realize how improved this secondary is this offseason. Really flew under the radar. And I just don't think Tyler Nubin as a rookie was able to play pretty darn well in not a good secondary. Like, not a good secondary at all. He played next to Jason Pinnock in the secondary. He played, Drew Phillips was their number one, right? Number one corner last year, was he?
Yeah, their best corner.
But and so they didn't have a ton of help there. Their pass rush wasn't good last year. Like, they didn't have a ton there helping him because Sexy Dexy got hurt. Now you got Abdul Carter. Now you got Sexy Dexy back. You got Javon Holland playing next to you now. You got Paulson Adebo added to the secondary. I think there's so much more to help him out, and so him going into his second season, he's gonna be more understand like rookie to second season plus all of his extra help. I could see him taking a big enough step to be a breakout. Like, I could see him being a good, really good safety next season for the Giants. And I just said the whole secondary as a whole, like, because kind of what you said, like, there's not a specific player, I guess, but I just feel like this secondary is going to take way bigger of a leap forward than people realize. Moving on though to the Jets, this was a really easy one.
Yeah, I picked Olu Fashanu.
So did I.
I think he's going to be a superstar left tackle. Maybe not this year, but next year. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll definitely take that step forward. Right now, he's being really unrecognized. He was a pretty good pass protector at the end of last season, and then in camp, everybody's been saying he looks like the next great tackle, and it's like not even that surprising. I had him as tackle 1 in this class, above Joe Alt. Obviously, they're right next to each other, but I just think he's that good of a prospect, and people just don't seem to really like him. So it's a lot easier for someone who no one likes and is super underrated to break out than someone like Joe Alt, who everybody loves. So yeah, I don't know who would pick that, but
I also just went with them just because he performed, like, he started off a little bit rough, but then just got so much better towards the end of the year. Why not continue that pace? Is my thought process. And now he's got Membu. Like, this is going to be a great line in a couple of years. So definitely the easy pick there. Who you ap for the Eagles though?
I went with Moro Ojomo.
Interesting. I thought you were going to go with Hunt.
Yeah, those are my two options. I think whoever seems to be playing on the defensive line seems to be playing really well for the Eagles, so you have to pick one of them. I think Hunt has a better chance to be a superstar, but Ojomo really just has to be a pretty good player. And like Milton Williams, I think, is a pretty good player, like nothing better than that. And he just got paid. Zach Allen just got extended. It was cheaper than Milton Williams, and it was more
what
recent.
Contract.
Yeah, I was like, well, that seems like a lot. And then I saw it was lower than Milton Williams. I was like,
it's a steal.
Milton Williams, I think, was just kind of overrated. So, like, it's very easy for Moro Ojomo to get overrated. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Milton Williams was underrated for 4 years, and then randomly people decided to like him. But
I think it's easy for any Eagle player to get overrated.
Yeah.
So any of them could work.
Ojomo played a lot at the end of the year, and he looked pretty good. So
I just went with a guy who I think some people might say broke out, but I don't think he has yet, and that's Nolan Smith.
We kind of like showed that he was going to break out.
Right, which is why I'm
didn't play
he's
long
going
enough
to this year. So he started playing in the playoffs, started playing really well. He's now their number one edge rusher, and I think that's going to give him a lot of opportunity. And he's gotten better every single year, so why not him continue that pace? And this Eagles D-line makes people look better than they are all the time. Why not continue to do so on a super athletic player who he struggled in his first season, but he's gotten better and better, and I think he's going to continue to do so. Moving on, though, to the Steelers. I'm interested to see who you have here.
I think we have the same one.
Really?
I went with Roman Wilson.
Wow. Really?
Well, it's not hard to break out from 0 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns. He was. It's kind of weird.
One catch, 5 yards, big breakout.
That's significantly more than before.
5x?
But that's not 5x.
Well,
that's infinity x.
Technically, it's 0x, but
sure, whatever. Anyway, he was like a pro-ready prospect, great route runner, and good hands. You'd expect him to hit the ground and be like a fine slot receiver, but he just never played, and now he has to play because they traded away George Pickens. They lost. Who else did they lose? They lost someone else, who was like one of their other receivers. Who am I forgetting?
Mike Williams.
Yeah, like Mike Williams is playing like every snap at the end of the year. So someone's got to step up, and I think Roman Wilson definitely could take that step forward. And if he gets 600 yards, that's a breakout.
Oh, definitely. But I don't think he's going to.
I think he could.
I did not go Roman Wilson. I went with Jaylen Warren. I love Jaylen Warren. I think he's so good. I think he's going to get more snaps than Caleb Johnson this year. I know you're obsessed with Caleb Johnson. I'm not a huge fan of Caleb Johnson. I have like 6. I think he's a good running back, but I do not think he's on the level of Warren. I think Warren's going to get all the third down snaps, obviously. And he's just so efficient. He's so good every single time he plays in every aspect of the game. I do not understand why he doesn't play more. And if they just give him more snaps, that'll be a breakout on its own. It won't even be him improving necessarily. It'll just be him getting the ball more.
They want to run with a powerful running back. They got a better running back, better competition than last year. Caleb Johnson is better than Najee Harris.
Okay.
So it's now harder.
Was exponentially better. But
that doesn't matter. He's going to do the same thing as last year. Get limited touches, have good efficiency.
No, he should be playing a lot more this season.
Yeah, if you were the coach, he might have a breakout year, but you're not.
Okay, well, if
Caleb
I was the coach, he would
going
have
to
a
win
breakout
Rookie
year.
of the Year or something like that.
I'm just
I don't think that.
Hoping that he plays.
Caleb Johnson could easily get over 1,000 yards because of how much volume they give to their running back, who's the best one of their running backs. Actually, that's not even true. Jaylen Warren was the best running back last year. The powerful running back gets a lot of work.
Okay, that's what you saw with Najee Harris because they thought he was good.
Yeah, but now they think Caleb Johnson.
There's a reason they got rid of Najee, moved on from Najee, and kept Jaylen Warren. It's because they believe in Jaylen Warren.
It's because they signed a...
No, it's because they believe in Jaylen Warren. No, it's... Anyway,
they
49ers. Who you got for the 49ers?
Made him $2 billion a year.
Who you got 49ers?
Oh, my gosh. I got Renardo Green. They need someone to step up at corner.
That's a good pick.
And he's there. I guess Lenore on the depth chart is listed at outside corner. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. But if it is, Renardo Green gets to be CB2. If it's not, he's CB1. So either way, he needs to play really well. And he showed flashes last year. He plays on the 49ers defense with now Robert Saleh, who let Sauce play really well. Just saying. Maybe he's the next Sauce Gardner.
I considered Lenore, even though he's already broken out, because I think
does not count.
I think he could be really good next season on the defense. But I went with someone who also is basically already broken out, but I think they're going to take a step to being a 1,200-yard receiver next season in Jawan Jennings.
Okay, so you said you only took one 27-year-old, but you took a 29-year-old?
Okay, well, he's only played like 2 seasons, so it counts.
Well, that's not true. He's only played snaps in 2 seasons.
That's what I meant. That's obviously what I meant, but
he doesn't want to be there.
I genuinely believe that if he plays for the 49ers this season, he will be a 1,200-yard receiver.
Watch him play football, and he does not look like a guy who's getting any, like, I know he had a good year last year, but
yeah, he had a really good year.
And he did not look like he was
So here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Brandon Ayuk's not going to play for the whole first half of the year. I don't like Ricky Pearsall. Deebo Samuel's gone finally, so they're not going to spend 65% of the plays on him for some reason. Jawan Jennings is going to get way more looks, especially in his first half of the year. And if he already had 1,000 yards with that, imagine what he can do with more looks. That's the focal point outside of George Kittle. Like, he's really going to take over in a lot of games, I think. And I think he's going to get up to 1,200 yards, which...
That's crazy.
That counts as a breakout.
100%.
Okay.
1,200 is insane.
I think he's...
That's like top 10.
I think he can get there. I think he'd be a top 10 receiver in receiving yards, not like skill level-wise. I think it's based on the situation.
Okay, well, that's crazy.
Moving on to the Seahawks. This one was super easy for me.
I think we had the same one. I picked Byron Murphy.
Obviously.
I mean, I wanted to go a different direction.
Of course.
But, I mean, I hate the list where it's like, who's going to break out? NFC North. Jordan Morgan, Dallas Turner, Caleb
obviously
Williams.
I didn't do that. I didn't pick any of those players.
And Turn Arnold. Like that's
I didn't pick a
every
single
breakout
player.
list.
No,
No, I'm just
no.
saying like that's what most breakout lists are.
That doesn't
I
mean you
think
can't
that's
do
like-
some of them.
Yeah, but for him, he showed a lot of flashes, and he was looking like he was going to be a very good player early on, and then he got hurt, and he kind of just fell off a little bit. So he just has to, get back on the field, play well. I think that's very much in the realm of possibilities, and they didn't have a lot of other breakout candidates. So
Yeah, I thought the same exact way, but I really liked him coming out of college. I wanted us to trade down, take him, and then get Bo later. But obviously we just took Bo. I'm still happy we just took Bo, obviously, because it worked out. But that is what I wanted to happen in the moment. And I still think Byron Murphy has a ton of potential to be a great player. Like you said, his rookie season didn't go perfectly to plan. Had some injuries. Wasn't amazing when he was on the field, but I think he's got a ton of potential still. And he's in a good situation to succeed. So, moving on to the Bucs. Who you got?
I got Tyke Smith. I don't feel great about it.
Interesting.
He was a good slot last year, and another thing, like slot's pretty easy to look good at. You don't normally get recognized, but if he just takes another step, I just didn't think this team had very many breakout candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're gonna be like Kate Otten or Jalen McMillan, but
I didn't.
wait, what? You didn't pick either of your favorite players?
My favorite? Whoa.
I just want to pick a defensive breakout. I feel like their offense is already pretty established.
I was really having a tough time with this one. I strongly considered Bucky Irving to say he was going to... Listen. I strongly...
He's getting more touches, and his efficiency is going to go way down. He's going to get 200 more yards because he gets way more
I
touches.
strongly considered saying... Because I think Bucky could be a top 5 back this season. That counts as a breakout.
Does it?
Yes.
We had him RB9, right?
I think I had him at 10.
Oh, I had him one spot above.
I think so. So going from 10 to 5 is a breakout in my book, at least. And I think he could be even top 3.
For this team, it's acceptable.
I could even think he was top 3. So that's
crazy.
That's who I wrote down. But just sitting here thinking about it, I was kind of thinking I kind of want to go with Graham Barton.
Wow, very, very, very interesting pick.
Why? I feel like he was good last season.
Just picking whoever the first round pick was last year.
Oh my gosh, this again, bro.
He was not that good last year.
He was a good player, and he's a young center, so he can keep improving, But, this is a team that has no options. I don't know what you want me to pick here. At least I am confident that Bucky's going to be amazing, so I can say that. But that's, the person I'm most confident about, because I think the best chance of a breakout is him going to the top 3 running back this season. He was so good last year.
We know.
Okay. Moving on to the Titans.
I'm picking Tajay Spears.
I also picked Tajay Spears.
I always pick him. Last year I was convinced myself crazy. I was there's a 0% chance Tony Pollard's going to be the starting running back by week 4. And I convinced myself of that for whatever reason. I actually was in shock when it wasn't true, basically, which is kind of weird. But at the end of the year, he was cooking. The last 3 weeks of the season, I think he was RB8 in PPR or something like that. Obviously, not everything's about fantasy, but he played really well at the end of the year, and he's a great receiving back. So he's probably going to take at least a lot of the work away from Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I also went Tajay Spears. I think he looked really good towards the end of the season. I just feel like he needs more opportunity. I think they're gonna try to slowly move away from Tony Pollard. I don't see a reason to
I think this is the last year of his deal.
I don't really see a reason to keep him around or try to keep him, if that makes sense. And I think Tajay Spears has a ton of potential. He can be a good receiving back too. So I think he is the obvious pick. He has been for a couple years now, so hopefully he can put it together this year.
Yeah, this is the last year of Tony Pollard's contract. This is the last year for them to decide if they like Tajay Spears or if they're going to bring in someone else when Tony Pollard leaves.
Yeah, so they're going to give him opportunities, especially when the season's over.
They better.
And finally, we have the Commanders. Who do you have?
I thought this one was making me struggle, and then I realized I remembered someone. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty easy. I went with Jerzon Newton.
Really? I didn't like him coming out of college.
I liked him coming out of college.
That's why I didn't pick him.
He's a good pass rusher, and they lost.
Such a basic pick. Oh my gosh, can you get more basic?
Then a second-round pick?
Yeah, it's literally so basic.
What about a first-round pick?
Who did they take in the first last year? Maybe a quarterback.
Maybe. Oh shoot, Jane Daniels.
Yeah, you could have chose him.
I should have.
That's who I picked.
Oh yeah.
No.
Wait, really? You didn't?
I picked Mike Sanders still. Are you proud of me?
For me, I think his ceiling's a bit capped by his height.
But you also think he's way better than he is. So, like, for me, I have him lower, and I think he could take another step.
Sure, you can be like, oh, wow, he's really good this year. I'm like, he's just like he was last year. And you're like, oh, no, that's a breakout because I was stupid.
Well, I'm actually on consensus, so on consensus, he's going to break out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the pick, but Jer'Zhan Newton literally did nothing last year.
Yeah, because he's bad.
They lost Jonathan Allen, and they brought in Javon Kinlaw.
Wait, so your argument for why he's going to break out is that he was absolute dog last year?
I think you trust the prospect, and you say he has a low starting point, so it's a great great player to pick.
I
for
pick
a breakout.
players that have shown something.
He has
you
a
get
chance
really mad
to be
about
the
that.
best DT on the team easily. Like,
okay, that's not
it's Kinlaw and the guy who's been there for years, Deron Payne.
I'm sorry, I pick people that actually have shown something, and that makes you so freaking upset.
My breakout player is Jared Verse.
Okay, that's the one.
That was so bad.
And I think some people would agree.
I think some people are gonna be like, does this guy just look at his sacks?
Well, in the sack market, he would definitely improve. Definitely break out. But that is everybody. So make sure you comment down below what we missed, what breakout players you have for this upcoming season, who your number one breakout player is this upcoming season. We're so excited for football season to begin. Make sure you come check out our live streams. We're going to be live streaming this Thursday, right, for the preseason games. So make sure you come check that out and have a good one, guys.